The film opens in a mysterious lab, in which someone was confined in a cryo chamber. The machine's monitor reveals that the man has been asleep for more than 19 years. The cryo chamber opens at precisely the same moment as the room's alarm begins to sound. After nearly 20 years of sleep, the guy eventually awakens. He takes a cautious, circumspect glance at what appears to be some sort of bunker. After a little while, the unidentified man starts looking for food and other necessities while opening his oxygen masks. The monitor abruptly alerts him that he must leave the bunker immediately since the pressure is going to rise to unsafe levels. The guy carefully emerges from the bunker in the following scene after donning extremely protective gear and grabbing some weapons. He also dons a helmet that permits him to breathe from within it out of safety. Soon after, he ascends the bunker, and what he discovers chills him to the core. Due to a nuclear attack, the Earth that was previously abundant with life and greenery has been completely destroyed. Everything around, including the fauna as well as the houses and the monuments, has been severely damaged. Not a single trace of life can be seen, and to make matters worse, it is pouring severely all the time. The radioactive substances in the rain will instantaneously destroy any living thing. The man regrets leaving the cryo cells since everything appears so gloomy and dreary. He still believes that someone or something is present. Though the man is exploring the region when all of a sudden a message appears on his monitor instructing him to proceed to a meeting location. It will take hours to travel through this wasteland to get there, from here, which is around 10 kilometers distant. The man thinks the danger is worthwhile despite this, though. He simply doesn't want to be alone on this decaying and unsettling planet. Here, we see a number of newspapers with war headlines on the roadside along the route. This suggests that a nuclear attack that was undertaken because of war is what put the globe in this situation. As the man keeps walking, he comes upon a number of abandoned automobiles that have likely been there for a long time, and practically all of their colors have disappeared due to the intense radiation. In fact, the entire area resembles a black and white film. Everything is very serene and dismal. Still marching with a rifle in hand, the optimistic man, after some time, he arrives at a demolished structure that resembles a previous government building. The guy eagerly enters, hoping to discover anything helpful, but to his disappointment, all he can find is a phone with no service and signal. And from the way things seem, it appears that the previous dwellers either departed or passed away quite some time. He leaves the building and resumes his journey in the following scene. Sadly, his monitor reports no signal when he attempts to navigate using. He is now forced to move forward on his own without any assistance. He just wants to communicate with someone at this point, regardless of whether he survives or not. He has suffered from spending 17 protracted years in the cryo chamber. His monitor abruptly beeps as he moves ahead slowly and wonders. It informs him that the surroundings are secure and that the air is safe for him to breathe. The man is overjoyed by this and takes off his helmet. He then senses the rain for the first time in a very long time. As nobody can predict when their time on Earth will end, the guy makes careful to savor every second. The individual might not even make it to the designated rendezvous location without enough food and drink supplies. Soon afterward, the monitor beeps once more, this time signaling the presence of a team member. He or she is actually only 205 meters distant. The man runs to the location while rapidly gathering his possessions out of excitement. He's once more optimistic that he'll eventually meet someone to share his joys and sorrows with. However, all he discovers when he arrives at the scene is the person's helmet. The helmet's bow state suggests that its owner passed away long ago. Also, he was receiving signals from a radio that was nearby. The man sobs for a time, then carries the helmet to a nearby location and properly buries it to honor his deceased owner. Despite the dismal and awful circumstances, man still has some humanity left in him. Actually, he even kneels to the ground and prays, wishing the departed may, at last, find peace. He then stands up and goes on his way. A few hours later, as the man makes his way through a different area of the town, he comes upon a demolished home. He cautiously enters and discovers several family portraits. Thus it is made clear that the residents belong to this nameless man. While his beloved wife and their dog are shown in the photo, they have long ago passed away. The man looks at the image for long before breaking down in tears. Then he makes his way to the devastated city. We also see a glimpse from above, and it appears to be an apocalyptic scenario. Radiation has taken control, and everything is black and white. A number of wall posters that discuss violence, rejection, and conflict refusal are also visible. The man scoffs after giving them a long look. Then he eats some dog food, which, if he doesn't find someone, will likely be his final meal ever. The man shaves his beard and attempts to go about his day as usual. He pulls out a razor and uses a piece of shattered glass to shave, and the heavy rain is playing. But while he is doing so, the monitor he was using to acquire directions unexpectedly shuts off. The device's battery has run out, and with it, the man's only chance to call for assistance. He breaks down in tears, feeling as though he has lost his own son. In the following scene, the guy ascends the city's highest structure to carry out his ultimate strategy. He must use the skies to call out for assistance because he has no one to lead him through the demolished area. At this point, he pulls out a flare pistol and discharges at the sky. The man is hoping that he will be found and signal back. Nothing occurs for the first several minutes, so the person gets ready to go. A flare gun is subsequently fired in response, showing that there is someone else who has been traversing the decayed city similar to the man. The man sprints in the direction the flare originated from out of excitement. The rain has ceased at this moment. At that very time, he spots a helmet on top of a vehicle. The man is hesitant to approach the individual because of precaution, but he still wants to. Hence, he hides in a corner and uses his binoculars to monitor everything. But when he doesn't see anyone, he pulls out his weapon and moves cautiously, taking a defensive stance next to a car, prepared to confront whatever is in store for him. A pistol suddenly appears from the opposite way. Once he turns around, he discovers a lady waiting to shoot him who is also wearing protective clothing. The two exchange fierce looks for some time because they definitely don't trust one another. But they lay down their guns as they realize that they could be the only two survivors in this universe. Even without exchanging a word, they are able to comprehend one another right away. The two glances at one another as the film comes to a close, wanting to begin over.